Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Card Advantage podcast. This is episode 37. It is being recorded on December 7th at 9:41 p.m. I am Jeff, joined as always by Bunk. What's going on, Bunk?
I just saw the time and I cringed.
As you cleared your throat. Yes, it is, as usual, well past Bunk's bedtime. Too much time spending on some last minute show prep, trying to do a couple of things for everybody. So we will get right into it so that Bunk can go to bed. First and foremost, some Sports Card Advantage business. Bunk has been vindicated, I guess. We put a call out the last two episodes for people to send us in their sets. Bunk drastically overestimated the amount of people out there that either give enough of a shit to send us an email or that actually do collect sets. We got 4 responses this week, which is better than the 0 responses that we received the previous week. So shout out to the 4 people that sent us stuff. Smoking Cardboard, 1989 Topps Nintendo stickers, just an absolutely fantastic email that we got from him. Shout out to Ian, who's collecting 2019 Donruss Net Marvels PSA 9s. Shout out to Merle, who's collecting 1987, 1988 Fleer, 1990 Donruss. Merle actually sent us an entire photo shoot, but we won't share all of it. And shout out to Brian, 1989 Upper Deck. We did promise that if you guys took the time to send us stuff, we'd give something away for you folks. So it seems like everybody, with the exception of the Nintendo stickers, is collecting baseball and or stuff from the 80s. So we had a 1989 Ken Griffey Fleer Upper Deck HGA card in the collection. So we're going to...
What's a Fleer Upper Deck? You just got people excited with the Upper
Deck.
Sorry.
1989 Fleer Rookie. I think I meant to say rookie and it came out Upper Deck.
There you go.
1989 Fleer Rookie Ken Griffey Jr. HGA 9. So we'll do a quick random. Once again, Bunk, give me a number between 1 and 7.
10.
No, 1 and 7.
3.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Ian, you are the winner. I will send you an email after the podcast and get an address, and we will send you out the card. All right. Moving right along into Sports Card Advantage business. If you have any emails you want to send us, questions for the show, send us an email to info@sportscardadvantage.com. Or if you just want to chat, shoot the shit about cards, hit us up on social media, Sports Card ADVTG. We also have a Discord room. Send us an email if you want to get in on that. And then a couple of exciting episodes coming up. We'll drop this publicly for these. We got some guests that are going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We will be interviewing the owner of Pull Kings, which is a really large and prominent breaking company. And then we'll also be interviewing the CEO of Collectible, which is a partial ownership company that works in, that focuses on sports collectibles. Fractional ownership. Excuse me. Thank you, Susie, grammar person. We will be interviewing Ryan from Pull Kings on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you have questions, get us. I know that this episode is going to drop Thursday morning. But if you have questions, send us the questions on social media or email or in Discord. And then the interview with the CEO of Collectible will be happening next Tuesday. We'll be recording that at 10:30 Eastern. So get us any questions for him before we sit down to have that interview. Any other sports card advantage business that you have for us today?
No. I got a box from COMC in today that I was pretty excited about. Speaking of sets, a lot of set needs came in the mail today.
More 42-cent cards to complete the sets.
Not all of them, but yeah, a lot of them. 11 brand new Adam Dunns I'm excited about.
Hence the Adam Dunn background for those of you watching us on YouTube.
Yep, all 12 of you, yes.
Yes.
Yep, 11 new Dunns, couple for the sets. So I was just, right before I got on with you, I was sticking them in the binders and having a grand old time.
And you know who's going to be mad that you mentioned your Adam Dunn collection and still haven't gotten a P.O. box?
Oh, whoops. Yeah, I'm going to get one of those.
All right.
He has my address.
Oh, fair enough. All right, here we go. Today, in honor of Christmas, I guess you could say, we're going to be ripping some stuff. We'll be doing a review of the Panini NFT experience. We'll be buying about $100 worth of NFT Panini packs and opening them up, talking about our thoughts on it, if there is any possible way that we can figure out how to send these. We'll do some giveaways, but we honestly, I have not purchased one yet, so I don't know what the possibilities are. So we will figure this out together, and if we can give these away, we will.
Just remember, I need your best color commentary here, because not only can't see what you're doing.
We're gonna. Well, the people can see my screen, but I can share my screen so you can see it and follow along with the people.
Yeah, but the majority of people are listening on their car ride to work or something, so we'll be descriptive. But if I can see too, I'll take care of
that. Oh, thank you, Bob Euchre. Drop in that color commentary for us here. All right, can you now see my screen?
Yeah, for the first time ever, I can see what you're doing.
For the first time ever. All right, fantastic. Okay, so you go to paniniamerica.net. I believe you then go to this blockchain link, and they have multiple options for you. So you can look at packs, which is under this packs and challenges, and then there's also auctions. So if you pull stuff out of packs, you can then put it up for auction and sell it through their auction site. I believe those are the only two things that you can do through this through the Panini NFT. So similar to what NBA did with Top Shot, and Topps did with the MLB NFTs. These are cards, they are packs. So unfortunately, this UFC Chronicles pack is sold out, so we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to try to buy all these low-level packs that they have. They have some other like $99 packs. I think we'll probably pass on that unless we hit something big in these first ones. So let's buy them all and go from there. But apparently you can't buy this one, so we'll move on to the next one.
In 13 hours you can.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Next up, Panini NFT NFL Mosaic Camo Pink Parallel Packs. It is, let's see, we get 2 base cards and 1 Camo Pink Parallel. All right, so we're going to hop back in here. I had to buy a bunch of stuff off screen because I didn't realize that they put up all my payment information and my address. And as much as we love you guys, did not exactly want to put that out into the public. So what we're going to do is just hop right into our unopened packs. We have just detailing everything for you guys. 2021 NFT NFL Mosaic Camo Pink Parallel Packs, which is 2 base cards and 1 pink camo parallel. We have a 2021 Panini NFT NFL Mosaic base pack, which is 3 base cards. We have one 2021-22 Panini NFT Blockchain NBA Prismatic Insert Pack. Holy hell.
I have a headache.
One 2021 Panini NFT Blockchain NBA Hoops High Voltage Insert Pack. One 2021-22 Panini NFT Blockchain NBA Prism Blue Wave Parallel. And we splurged. We bought a $49 pack. One 2021-22 Panini NFT Blockchain NBA Prism Silver Parallel pack. So we'll start at the top.
Maybe you should recap those all again.
Yeah, I think we will not. I'm pretty sure if people want to hear that descriptions of everything again, they can hit rewind. Let's start with the base cards, I guess, and we'll go up from there. So we're going to open the...
Come on, offensive lineman.
I guess who are we looking for here? We're probably looking for Mac.
Now,
Open pack now. Yes, let's do that. Oh, they got some sound effects. I don't know if you guys can hear that. All right, here we go.
Make me feel like you're really ripping something here.
All right, Bunk. Dealer's choice: left, center, or right. Which ones do you want? So, for those of you that are listening and not watching this on screen, it pops up. There's 3 cards that are face down, and you have to click on the cards to reveal your card. So far, definitely a fun experience as far as the excitement of the pack opening and then picking and revealing your cards. Even though these are going to be base cards, and we're probably going to get schleps. But we'll still keep going. So what do you want?
One of my all-time favorite words.
Schleps. Yes, it is a fantastic word.
Go middle.
Middle. All right, here we go. Danielle Hunter is number 1. It's numbered 1474 out of 1999.
All right.
So far... so good. All right, I will choose right. John Riggins. 1181 out of 1999 base card. And I believe these are the new Mosaic designs for the 2021 NFL sets. So design of the Mosaic card looks pretty sweet. Somewhat similar, I guess, to last year.
It reminds me of last year, yeah. But definitely different.
I mean, Mosaic makes beautiful cards. They're definitely of the cards that are out there. Team color, and it's a good-looking card. And last but not least, on the left, Davante Adams, numbered 802 out of 1999. I don't think it necessarily matters as far as the numbering unless it's like a jersey number. I know with Top Shot, the lower the number, the more valuable, but I don't think that holds true with this.
Yeah, I would think not.
So base pack: Davante Adams, Danielle Hunter, John Riggins. Nothing too exciting. Okay, so that's my cards. Now I got to go back. So the menu's a little wonky. With this whole experience as far as getting back to your unopened packs. Let's go prismatic. We'll see. We'll try to go a little football, basketball, football. Open pack now. Sweet. We got another 3 cards. All right, Vanna.
Just nail them.
All right, Vanna White, which one you want? All right, Russell Westbrook, Prism. So this looks like the new Prism design for the cards. You've been seeing some of these pop up on social media. These are out of 1,000. So this is card 901 out of 1,000. A little weird. He's in his Washington Wizards uniform. So I'm not sure if Westbrook.
Well, they haven't had time to switch pictures.
Yeah, so I'm curious if Westbrook, if his 2021 Prism stuff is going to be in his Wizards uniforms or not. I'm not sure when these were taken. Card design.
I like it personally.
It's interesting. For those of you that are looking at and not being able to look at it, it basically looks like an hourglass, I guess you could say, in team colors.
And it's
For
a whole lot of border
Yeah, so
versus.
for the purposes of grading and being able to analyze these cards, like in terms of centering, it should be fairly simple to do that, as you've seen in previous prisms. It's definitely a clearly defined top border, bottom border, left border, right border. So, but overall, nothing crazy as far as prism. Um, and I don't think this P will be on the actual cards themselves when they come out. There's a digital like Panini NFT logo in the upper left hand corner. Number 2, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, numbered 324 out of 1,000. Looks like this is just a regular base card. Yeah,
where's my prismatic card?
Yeah, we want a prismatic card. We want something good. All right, uh-oh. Zion.
Hey, skinny Zion.
Yep, skinny Zion. All right, here we go. This is a dope looking card. It is a prismatic parallel. And let's see, 2021 Panini NBA Prismatic Zion, numbered 416 out of 500. I have no idea if this thing is worth anything, but definitely cool to always pull a Zion. For Zion, I've pulled that I didn't purchase as a one-off on eBay.
Yeah, you pulled it all right. Can't wait for you to hold it in your hands.
Do we want to address this now?
No, we'll do it later.
You might as well. You might.
No, keep going. Open packs. We'll babble later.
All right, here we go. Keeping the train rolling here.
It is a really cool looking card, though.
Let's click on this thing and see if we can actually do anything with it. All right, if we can give this stuff away, we're gonna try. We got to figure out if we can actually do that, or we have to put it up for auction. My NFT collection. Here we go. Let's just click on these. Start auction. Gifting.
Send as a gift.
It says gifting requirements not met. What are those? Oh, you bitches. So apparently, let's see. So apparently you can gift on Panini. Your Panini America account needs to be 30 days old, own 25 NFTs, and own this for 7 days. All right. So we may have to do another couple of rips, and then we can give stuff away, like in the beginning of January, it looks like. So we'll do the best that we can to get up to 25 NFTs so that we can actually give these away. All right, next up, we got 2021 Panini NFT NFL Mosaic Pink Parallel. I gotta say, as far as opening stuff is concerned, it's definitely fun. I actually, if these had the same value as traditional cardboard, I would like this experience a lot better, because then you don't have to worry about the handling of it and sleeving it and all that stuff. I don't mind clicking on it and getting the reveal, and you still feel that little bit of rush, and then I don't have to worry about putting it in a sleeve and or damaging it by handling it. Number 1, Robbie Anderson, 1364 out of 1999. Number 2, Jamison Crowder, 866 out of 1999. And then our pink camo parallel. Fingers crossed. Let's see some Mac.
Patty.
Ew. Well, all right. Let's look at the bright spot. Kyle Trask, rookie, the successor to successor to Tom Brady. So
Tom Brady's never retiring. This guy's gonna be 30 before he plays for the Buccaneers.
This card could be worth something in 2 years after Brady hangs it up. 424 out of 499. Dude, people get hyped over rookies, so I'm sure there'll be a Kyle Trask surge at some point.
I do like the pink camo though.
Yeah, pink camo. It's a pretty sweet looking card. If this was like traditional camo colors, it'd look even better. But yeah, it's definitely a cool looking card.
All right. Slab these.
I do not believe you can slab these. Pretty sure the surface, corners, and centering will
look pristine.
Will all be pristine. Yes.
All right, let's hit that high voltage NBA pack.
I'm trying, but it's not getting me there. My unopened packs, click. Got nothing. Let's try to go to another. There we go. We have to go to another menu. All right, we got 3 more packs. This is the 2021 Hoops High Voltage Insert Pack. And we have another 3 cards. Number 1. High Voltage. Nikolai Jokic. This is numbered 130 out of 500. I guess this is good. I mean, Jokic obviously MVP last year.
Good player.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Why don't you do a little research here, see if there's any of these up, and see if they're going for anything. Card number 2.
Panini might have banned me from their website.
Why would Panini have banned you from their website?
I've been abusing them to find out where our redemptions are that never got picked up, but they're not. They blame. They're just saying, oh, you should have got it.
Oh, we still haven't gotten. Is that our Wander redemption?
No, thank God. That's still pending. I don't know. It was a replacement for something. It was nothing high dollar.
Oh, that was that the Minshew?
Might have been the Minshew replacement, but it got I got a tracking number, and the tracking number says it was never picked up from their facility.
Yeah, that was
just
like
one of those like label created, waiting for pickup.
That was like a year ago.
It was June.
6 months ago. All right, number 2, card 2, Facundo Campazzo, 432 out of 2000. Traditional Prism, the new Prism card design, base card, and then number 3, Derrick Rose, also base card, 818 out of 2000. That's pretty cool that you don't know which one's going to be your insert, so that's good. It's not always the third card that you pick. All right, we have 2 more. One is a Prism Silver, so hopefully we'll pull something good out of there. And the website is definitely slow. Let's hop back, and then we have the Blue Wave Parallel, and then the Silver. Were you able to find anything on that high voltage?
I mean, other players are selling for a couple bucks.
That's a bummer. Number 1, Michael Bridges on the Suns, base card, 23 out of 2000. Number 2, Trey Murphy, rookie, New Orleans Pelicans, base card, 313 out of 750. That's interesting.
What's this pack? A silver? This one's giving me a silver?
No, this is the Blue Wave Parallel. So what's the difference between these two? One is out of 750 and one is out of 2000?
Veteran versus rookie.
Got it. Okay. That's why we keep you on here. All right. Blue Wave for Dennis Schroeder of the Boston Celtics. I have no idea who this guy is in a Lakers uniform. 359 out of 499. Nothing good here.
Panini is up all the time in the world, and it's digital. You can't change a picture.
Dude, I have no idea. All right, last but not least, the big daddy here, the NBA Prism Silver Parallel Pack. Fingers crossed. Show me some. Ooh, we get 5 cards in this one. We spent $49 on it, so hopefully we get something out of this.
I don't know if we'll have room.
Number 1, Alec Burks. Out of 2000 on the Knicks.
He's starting now.
You know more than me, I guess. Number 2, OG Anunoby. 131 out of 2000, Toronto Raptors. Number 3, Derek Favors. Prism Base, Blue Wave. 491 out of 499. So I guess Blue Wave also in the silver packs. That is disappointing.
We got 2 Blue Waves now. We can go for the set.
Oh, yes, guy. Oh, here we go. Sabin Lee Pulsar, Prisms Pulsar, out of 299. I don't think he is any good for the Detroit Pistons. And last but not least, Michael Porter Jr. Silver. Unfortunately, he is hurt and out for the year, but not a
that surgery, didn't
he? Yeah, I think so. He also, I mean, he's had just tremendous injury issues for his career. He came out in 18 in the Luka trade class, and he's definitely not been able to put together. Every year he gets hyped as the sleeper for the hobby. Last couple of years people have been talking about Porter, and he gets hurt. He has the opportunity with Murray being hurt, and he just couldn't stay healthy. All right, that's it. So we're done opening packs. As far as my overall opinion, it was really easy to buy them. Obviously, we didn't pull anything that's a monster. I think we spent somewhere in the neighborhood of $100. We probably pulled $20, $30 worth of digital cards out of here based on what the auction, the marketplace. So it's not all that different than opening regular packs. You spend X amount, and if you get back half, you're lucky. So any thoughts, Mr. Bunk?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand now. I've always been what do I do with digital card? Even from the older folks might remember Topps Bunt, which I think is still around. But at least with Topps Bunt, I know whatever cards are in your collection, you can use the cards. And I think I saw something on the Panini site for challenges or games or something. But you can use the cards to help, I don't know, win other things. So even though you can't do anything with them except open a folder and look at them, they had other uses. You could play them in some sort of game or win things with them.
Yeah.
So they had additional value beyond the rip.
Yeah, there's also a public gallery, so if you pull anything big, you can show it off to people. And I mean,
someone just had a $2,000 LaMelo in the public auctions I was just looking at.
Yeah, so like if you pull that kind of stuff, so it looks like people are showing off some of their cards and put their stuff in the public gallery. And I mean, I don't know why anybody cares about Christian Wood on the Rockets, but they wanted to show that off in the public gallery here. So I mean, I think NFTs and digital current, digital assets, digital hobby cards, whatever you want to call it, is still very much in its infancy, and they'll figure out other things to do with it. But for right now, nothing. There's nothing crazy here. So if you want
I would just like to know that there's more to do with them. I feel like if there was more I know I could do with them, I'd be more apt to doing it. But I agree with you. I like it. I like the fact that there's a little rush, a little, before opening it, like you're opening a regular pack, see what's next. But I just need to know what else can I do with them now.
Yeah, I mean, so right now we're on a page that says claim your Panini digital blockchain card here. So I guess there's going to be you can have giveaways, and there's a code, and similar to a redemption. I mean, this way Panini can actually fill their redemptions.
Talk for an hour on that.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get you started. We're not going to get you fired up at 10:15 on a Tuesday about that.
Just real quick, go back up to the main menu. There's the thing where it says NFTs and challenges. It's under the blockchain somewhere. You had it up before. Go up NFT. Yeah, go to NFT packs and challenges. What's that all about?
So I think you have to build. I think this is
Oh,
like basically like set building. So you're trying to
okay.
acquire. This is like a
So that
patent.
says, yeah.
So this is like a challenge of stuff. So let's click on this one. 2019 blockchain NBA Packs Prism Entertainment 75 years of NBA challenge number 18 Jason Kidd. In order to complete a challenge and be eligible for the reward, you must have collected at least one of each of the required cards before the completion challenge. After the
Okay.
completion, we'll take a snapshot of all collections to verify each collector holds. So you need.
Yeah, so underneath there's a list of a bunch of cards, exactly what they are, and if you put them all into your digital portfolio here and follow their directions, you're going to win that Jason Kidd card, or they'll add that Jason Kidd card to your account.
I think so. It says you're eligible. Where is this? You're eligible for the reward. So yeah, they'll give you this card if you spend. I mean, you're gonna have to buy packs or buy these cards in order to do it. Like in order to get that card. So it looks like some of these things you can get for basically a couple bucks. I just don't know what that kid card's gonna be worth. Like
Right.
how limited, how many people will complete the challenge, and how limited that card will be, and what it's
Yeah.
what it's worth. Are you gonna spend $100 to complete the challenge to get a card that's worth $30? So I think that's some of what has to be determined as far as the effort and money that needs to be spent to complete the challenges, because the challenges would be fun, trying to complete all that stuff, as long as I'm going to get something that's as valuable of what I just did. Like I'm not spending money for quote unquote entertainment to lose money on whatever the prize is.
Right, and I don't know if it's on here, but one of the limitations here is like when I'm building a set, I like to trade for as many as possible. Sure, I open a bunch, but I like to be able to trade. Like if there's a platform here where you can say, "Hey, I'm looking for this, this, and this," and then they can see what you have, and you guys can work out a trade, as opposed to just now straight buying. Like for me, if I had to buy all 10 of those cards just to get the kid, I'm probably not going to do it.
Yeah, and
That's not as fun.
I agree. I mean, if they can set this up, where you can trade, I think it makes it fun, and then it's just a matter of passing digital assets, and you don't have to send stuff, and that is a way that you can basically have something get held, um, for lack of a better word, escrow. Where both parties send their assets to this thing that holds until both have been received, and then it'll send them the other way. I mean, it'd definitely be a safe way to trade, and probably it'd be
Can't just
fun.
click a button and have a card show up in my portfolio and take one out of mine and put it in theirs.
It,
I mean, it should be as simple as that, no?
yeah, it is, but it's not. That isn't available yet. I think it will be. I think it's only a matter of time before you and I can, send cards back and forth, or there'll be like a public trading type of thing, and then they'll be able to make it so that once a trade is agreed upon, that the system will hold until both have been sent.
Yeah, you do stuff like that. You do stuff where like, okay, you collect at least 5 of the parallels of this one card, and you can upgrade it to this card. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
That would be
I think
cool
there's a
too.
lot of possibilities here. I think it'd be a lot of fun for kids and for adults, and it's just going to be a matter of whether or not they can get this to catch on so that people perceive it as having value. I think
Well,
that's
right,
all
and
it
at the
is.
end of the day, if it does catch on and you have nothing in your account now, then you're going to be playing late.
Well, I mean that's what happened with Top Shot, in that the beginning there was so much hype around it that these things were going for tremendous amounts of money, and then the market crashed. Because the novelty wore off. So now we're in basically round 2 of hobby NFT, and whether or not this is actually going to catch on. So we shall see. Um, Anything else about NFTs you want to talk about before we move into this week's investments?
No, let's keep it moving. It's late.
All right. Well, I'll let you go first, I guess. What do you got for us this week?
Yeah, I was just looking at I was trying to find some from the 2018 baseball class, some affordable Otani, Soto, and Acuna options where the pops weren't crazy high. I think we've mentioned a few times, things like the Topps update, the Topps Chrome update, the Topps Heritage of these guys. We're talking PSA 10s in over 10,000 or multiple thousands. So I was trying to find cards of theirs that might be semi interesting but have low PSA 10 pop. So I started and I have a bunch of these, and it made me think to look it up. I was looking at you may not be familiar with it, but you're familiar with the Tops Now stuff.
Yeah.
So online exclusive. Something happens on a Monday, on Tuesday at noon. The event goes on sale.
Yep.
So whatever it was for Soto's first card. Actually, I remember what Soto's first card was. It was he was the first person to hit a. I know he hit a home run on the first pitch he's ever seen in the major leagues as a teenager. It says something like that. So it just highlights the previous day's events. So I was looking at some of the print runs on these. The first Otani Topps Now card from that year. There's two versions, in English and Japanese. We're talking 4,800 and 3,900 print run. The Soto later in the year, 6,800 print run. And the Acuna was the highest, actually, of all of them, which was an 11,000 print run. And these are ungraded. This is just how many Topps made. So you're talking about print runs that are already less than PSA 10s and some of the other sets. Now, I understand they're not as sexy as the Topps Chrome update and the Topps Chrome and your Acuna bat downs and stuff. But as far as PSA 10s are going, we're in the hundreds on PSA 10s on all these cards. Well under 1,000 on them.
Yeah, so I just brought up 130 and the Otani PSA 10 Topps, 2018 Topps Now. There's two, looks like.
Well, you got to be careful because they're highlighted multiple times throughout the year. So I'm just referencing the first one. So you want to look for card number 5 on the Otani, which the card number 5 PSA 10 is roughly in the $150 to $200 range.
Oh, wow. They do a ton of these, huh?
Yeah. So you're talking 20 to 25. That's the one limitation to these cards is you got to pick the event you want the most. So I chose just their first one. If you look across all print runs, Acuna I think has the most.
The question that I have for you is, do I want the first one or do I want like the coolest moment? Like,
well, I think that leaves you. That's up to the collector. You have the coolest moment. A bunch of the Soto ones after his first one are less than 1,000 print run. He's got a bunch that are under 1,000 total made.
All right, so let's
compared to Otani and Acuna, who have multiple ones that are above 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 print run.
So it looks like the Otani Japanese version just went for 217 PSA 10, and then the English version just went, or actually these do not come up very often.
No, there's only 162 of the English and 183 of the Japanese.
Yeah, so the last Japanese sold on the 16th, which was almost a month ago, for $217. And it looks like based on if you look at the trends, it looks like the prices are staying where they are or going up a little bit.
Yeah, I think again a lot of it is up because if people are looking for a card, they're looking for that Topps Chrome or they're that Topps Heritage. But 10, 15 years from now, we're looking for the scarcest Otani or the scarcest Soto. This is going to be in the conversation.
What's the card number for Soto?
Soto is number 235, I believe. I can only remember my schoolwork like this. They're selling for about $150.
So yeah, this is a cool moment. Homer on first MLB pitch. That's a cool card.
Yep.
PSA 10 went for $150.
Yep.
And PSA 9, if you do not have the $150, went for $30. So definitely affordable on all accounts.
Yeah.
So if you're a Soto fan or looking for Soto stuff, definitely an affordable option.
Yeah, and the raws are cheap, but PSA is not cheap enough to warrant sending them in yet per se, unless you're going to hold it long term. But you can get the Otanis between $10 and $15 raw. The Acunas are between $10 and $15 raw, and the Soto is a little bit more expensive. But that's in the $25 to $40 range raw. But
Yeah.
we're talking pops of 162, 183 on the Otanis, 489 on the Soto. And the Acuna had an 11,000 print run, so there's 790 of those.
Wait, back up a
That'll
second.
be the most
Did you
popular.
say it's 489 on the Soto?
On PSA 10. How many PSA 10s there are?
So there's 1,000 print run and 489 of them got a 10?
No, 6,800 print run.
So what did you say before that was 1,000 print run?
Maybe I said 11,000 on the Acuna.
Oh, okay, got it.
What I was really comparing to is you look at like Soto's top Chrome update, PSA 10, there's over 10,000. His tops update over 19,000. Acuna's tops Chrome over 8,000. His tops update over 19,000 PSA 10s. So we're talking print runs on these Tops Now cards are actually less than total PSA 10s in existence on some of their flagship cards.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's a picture of his first Major League home run. I mean, at least for Soto, as far as the moment is concerned, that's just cool. I
wish I kept buying when they came out.
Are there any variations of these? Like, is there like a refractor or anything else of these?
I know in 2018, nowadays they're getting more creative with the parallels. I actually, hold on, I've got to back it up right now. Who am I kidding? So on the Sotos, let's see. I know there's one of one black and white versions on some of these cards. Now they put in parallel. You can get parallels to 25 to 49 on every Topps release. You might get lucky and get.
Jesus, look at this price discrepancy. So the PSA 10 Soto went for $149 on November 26th, and the BGS 9.5 went for $45 a week before.
I just actually followed. I put on my watch list the BGS 9.5. It's like $65 right now to see if the seller sends me an offer. I was going to pick it up. There are parallels of these, sir. They have blue parallels to 49. There's parallels to these are the autographs.
I don't see it. I mean, none of them are showing up. So they must be really rare.
No. So no, the main Tops Now Sotos don't have parallels. It's his autographs and some of his other highlights during the year. But that first one doesn't appear to have a parallel.
Gotcha. Okay.
But Tops Now traditionally does now. Every card pretty much has a shot at a parallel when you purchase off the site. They just add it to your order if you get it.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. All right. Anything else on the investment side for you?
No, you got anything today?
Yeah, I do. We're going to talk a little Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know how to say his name.
He's this guy.
Do you know how to say his name?
Antetokounmpo?
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're just going to call him Giannis.
I think I did a better job than you.
So for those of you that aren't following basketball, Giannis, however you want to pronounce it, probably the best player on the court. Probably the best player on the court right now. His stuff still somewhat underpriced. He's got a title. Bucks are in position to definitely make a few more title runs. Try to find some of his cards that are affordable. So looking at his rookie year was 2013. Looking at his 2013 Hoops card, BGS 9.5 last sold $255. Pop is $425. The PSA 10 version of this card is $427.50. The pop is $2,000. Once again, just crazy as far as the discrepancies between BGS and PSA. BGS pop is 25% of the PSA pop, and it's selling for half. Roughly half of what the PSA 10 version is. But either way, I definitely, I would want to add some of his stuff to my collection. I think it's going to go, barring any kind of catastrophic injury, he's had enough of an established career and a title that his stuff is just going to keep going up. And I think over the next couple of years, you're going to start to see a shift in star power in the NBA. LeBron is done. KD is coming towards the end of his career, and but I think LeBron's the big one. Once LeBron vacates, there is a massive vacuum for star power and voice of the league, and that kind of stuff. So I think there's definitely going to have to be some guys that step into that spotlight, and I think there's definitely going to be a shift over the next 5 years in basketball. So we'll see, but I think his stuff is still going to keep going up. I mean, if you look at his Prism base, his PSA 10 is 1500, which still isn't even terrible. Pops on that are to 2600. If you look at his silvers are real expensive. 18 grand because Pop's 75, so it's definitely one of those Prism silvers that are low numbered. And the value, even the value has come down on these since August. It was selling for 30 grand over the summer, and we're down to 18. So market's soft all over, but if you have the money and you want to get in on some stuff, I would definitely be looking at his stuff over the next 6 weeks. Could be the best opportunity you're going to see in a while to get in on some of his stuff.
Yeah, and basketball's cool like that from the standpoint of player, whatever the uniform they're wearing doesn't always matter to people. Like in baseball, it's a big deal. I mean, guys get traded that they've collected all their lives, and then all of a sudden they're selling everything and getting rid of everything because they can't handle them being in another uniform. But basketball over the last 10 years has been all about the players. Like kids are like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
It's not even so much about the team sometimes. So
yeah, I mean, look at LeBron. He's been a Cavalier. He's been on the Heat, and now he's a Laker. People are just LeBron fans, and same with a couple of other guys who have changed teams. But I think that Giannis being in Milwaukee, and then also he stays somewhat out of the spotlight, so his value is not as high as some of the other guys, as it should be. Like right now, for example, if you look at his accomplishments versus Luka's accomplishments, it's not even close as far as Giannis over Luka. But for the most part, Luka's stuff, is selling for more. At least it was. I mean, Luka's market's gotten crushed lately, but so we'll see.
you're telling me to buy every BGS 9.5 basketball rookie I can find?
I mean, that actually leads us to another, one of the questions that came in from Peanut Gallery, asking about, cracking slabs and when it makes sense and when to do it. I mean, it's a topic we've talked about ad nauseum on this podcast, but at the same time, I mean, going into these next few months in the hobby, if you're somebody that's looking to make money, it's something that you have to consider as an option. Buying a PSA 10 of a card and then just trying to turn around and sell it in 2 weeks, a month, it could be a losing proposition for you unless you can get it at a show for 60% of comp and then turn around and sell it, for 80 or 90% of comp or 100% on eBay and pay the fee. But I mean, barring that, you're gonna have to be buying raw and grading or buying slabs and cracking. I mean, that's going to be the way that you can hold money, and make sure that the market's going to hold up. Earlier tonight, I was watching the first of the Sports Card Investor live giveaways, and he has panels on, and he was talking to Ryan from Collector 2. I mean, Ryan was talking about the softness of the market. He bought a $2,800 Luka auto 2 weeks ago. It's now worth $2,100. So, I mean, right now we're in a market that is soft. So you're going to have to buy things that are going to increase in value. And the way to increase in value is raw to graded, or, graded to graded, just going from SGC or BGS to PSA.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, if the discrepancy between the 9.5s at HGA, BGS, SGC, even SGC 10s are that much compared to PSA. I mean, the population reports on those companies must be absolutely busted at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
because because they're getting cracked all over the place now because they're
Yeah.
so cheap. And why not buy a BGS 9.5 and see if you can get a 10?
I mean, we saw
They're so
something.
cheap.
We saw something, and unfortunately, I missed it. But there was one of the guys from this year's class, probably number 3 right now, behind Melo and Anthony Edwards, is Tyrese Maxey, and there was a Maxey rookie penmanship Prism Auto SGC 10 that sold for $330, but it closed at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I fell asleep and I missed it. But card was in good shape. I know we've been bashing SGC, but we looked at it and it was in good shape and would have easily crossed over into a 10 PSA, and we probably could have flipped it for $1,200-$1,300 in PSA. And even a PSA 9 of this card went for $600, a week or two before. So
that card is already cracked and on its way.
Yeah, probably. So I think the thing that as far as giving just general advice is you got to look at the numbers. You have to consider where you're buying the card, where you're selling the card, what you're giving up for fees on both sides if you are. If you're buying on eBay, you have to take into consideration you're going to pay tax and shipping. If you're selling on eBay, you have to take into consideration eBay is going to take roughly 12.5%. If you're buying privately and selling privately, obviously you don't have to keep that in mind. But looking at the numbers to make sure that you're including all the fees on both sides and the grading fee and the shipping fee from PSA. If you can do that and have it as close as possible, for whatever reason you don't get the 10 that you think you're going to get to where you got it from, to where you got in at, that's your best bet. Like, for example, not vintage, but like 90s cards do not play well with this at all. PSA 10s, like let's take example, the 1996 Kobe. PSA 10 going for like $1,800 to $2,000. PSA 9 going for $200. You buy a BGS 9.5 at $600 or $700 and hope to get a 10 and you don't, you're going to be very, very upside down between the resale and the grading. But if you look at some of the more modern stuff, your BGS 9.5, PSA 9, and PSA 10, your BGS 9.5 and PSA 9 values are a lot closer together. And so for whatever reason you don't get that 10, you're going to be a lot closer to breaking even and taking a smaller loss. And this is going to be a volume game in that you have to do this multiple times and hope that you win more than you lose by getting 10s versus 9s.
Yeah, it's a grind unless you're throwing 10 grand at a bunch of cards in one shot.
Yeah, I mean it 100% is a grind and it's not cheap. And you got to pick your spots, but there's definitely opportunities out there if you have a few $1,000s that you're playing with, where you can buy stuff, get it graded, and flip it. I mean, but you have to scrutinize the graded card. Just because something may be a true BGS Gem 9.5, whatever the name is that they use for it, it doesn't necessarily always mean that that's the case. And just
you're referring to a quad 9.5, so 4 9.5 subs.
Isn't it called like a true gem mint or something?
Yeah. So again, getting back to the argument between the PSA 10 and then the other companies 9.5s, most people will tell you that the BGS 9.5 is the exact same thing as the PSA 10.
But the point I'm making is if you're buying for the purposes of cracking and submitting, you need to examine it as if it was raw.
Correct. You're looking at, and then again, that's where all these things come into play. Where the older the card, you got to be concerned about the surface of it. Again, and then you're also looking at people that graded the card 20 years ago. The way they look at the cards and grade it now, I'm sure, are a little bit different now than they were when some of these cards were slabs.
Yeah, 100%.
And a lot of people look at, okay, if I can find perfect subs, but it's a 9 centering. We know PSA is a little more lenient with the centering grade. So they're like, okay, I got 3 9.5s and a 9 centering. I'm sending this to PSA.
And
that's what people are looking at.
I'm throwing in a disclaimer. This is not investing or financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. So for whatever reason you buy something, you crack it, and you submit it to PSA, don't come looking to us saying
It's on you.
you said that this would do it, that this would work. You are a grown up. You make your own decisions, but let's just say, there are, like anything else, there are opportunities there. HGA right now, shit, and there's going to be another, I guess, HGA scandal that just hit social media today, where there's another two like big 90s basketball cards that were fakes that they slabbed as genuine. I guess the cards made the rounds to BGS and PSA, and they got rejected by both, and then they sent them off to HGA, and HGA slabbed them. So HGA is continuously fighting some of this stuff, but at the same time, the stuff that they do grade, as far as the actual grade on the card, they're not lenient. They're fairly strict with what they're doing. So, between you can get the value that you're looking for, as far as it being inexpensive, but knowing that what's in it hopefully should have been graded accurately.
No, it's never going to help their resale value if you, on certain cards, you're questioning whether or not it's authentic.
Correct.
I agree with you. I love a lot of things about them, but I can't support the fact that they keep messing up and grading fakes, if that's actually true.
Yeah, I mean, and these aren't like $10 cards, I mean, some of these are, like the one that came out today was, prominent, fairly expensive Jordan card, that I believe the story was on Card Porn, that PSA and BGS both rejected it as a fake card, and then HGA slabbed it.
Yeah, no good.
Yeah, no, definitely no good. But at the same time, if people continue to downplay HGA's reputation, stick to more modern stuff that, probably not going to be faked. If you're buying 2018, 2019 type cards, those cards aren't being faked, really.
Yeah, the ultra modern stuff, there's no fakes out.
Yeah. So stick to that stuff and take advantage of the fact that their reputation's down and people aren't going to pay big money for this. Get an HGA 9.5 that, maybe you can get for $300 or $400, and the PSA is going to be 4x on that, and send it in and get it graded. Take a shot, see what you got.
I saw a whole thread last week that was people that had cracked HGA slabs open. It was all these awesome cards, and they just put the HGA label on top of the card in the picture to show you that it came from there. It's actually pretty cool, but they're all high end cards, and I'm sure we're going somewhere else.
Yeah, was it? Well, I'm sure they're going to PSA. Was this the one that they were opening the slabs with a dime?
No, those were SGC. That was an SGC case. I saw the dude open it with a dime.
Oh, gotcha. Well, yeah, out of all three, SGC definitely the flimsiest of the cases.
Yeah, HGA. I got one right in front of me here. I'm looking at this thing. I mean, I don't even know how. I mean, I guess you're gonna tile cutter it and see what happens.
Yeah, it's the same as any of the others.
It just looks more solid than the other ones.
Well, I mean, eventually we'll see. I know that we have some stuff that we're looking to potentially crack and submit. So get your tile cutters out, since you didn't let me buy the Slab Chopper 3000.
Well, I'm an SGC opening pro now.
Okay, well, that's good.
I got that down. That's a piece of cake.
Well, we'll work on buying some stuff over the next couple of weeks, and we'll start cracking it and submitting it. We'll start practicing what we preach here, and we'll document it. And start putting that stuff up on YouTube and Instagram. I know it's something that we talk about a lot, so we'll put our money where our mouth is here, and show you guys what happens.
Yeah, well, let's find a card that makes sense for us, and let's find an SGC, an HGA, and a BGS 9.5, all the same card, and it makes sense to sub it to PSA. Let's crack it and see what happens. I'm sure we can find one that makes sense.
That's an interesting question. Whether or not we can find the same card and get all three.
Yeah, it'll take a little searching, but I'm sure we can find one of each that it just makes it makes sense to send to PSA, and we're not just throwing money down the drain to the point of.
Oh, you mean spending $500 of my dollars on getting things graded at PSA?
Yeah, I got a $12 loop, man. And a $30 microscope.
And speaking of PSA, we'll close the show here with one quick announcement. Regular service levels have resumed, with the caveat being you can only send them into group submissions. So guys like Collector 2, Sports Card Investor, Nash. It seems like a lot of the bigger guys that do group submissions have gotten an allocation of 300 cards a week. For $100. I believe each company is probably doing their own thing. As far PSA, I think passed the buck and basically said, "You guys deal with how you're going to send us your 300 cards, and we're only going to allow you to send in 300 from your group." So
it's genius.
Smart
it's genius
on smart on their part.
One order form for PSA. They grade all the cards. They send all 300 back to whomever, and then it's their problem to sort it out and send it out to everybody.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
actually
like
genius.
If Nash or Collector 2 or any of these guys get flooded, it becomes their problem to deal with versus PSA's problem. So definitely a smart move on their part, and they don't have to worry about lotteries and selecting and whatever. It all is handled by the group sub.
I think I'm going to call Beckett tomorrow, find out if they're still open.
So it seems like I watch a fair amount of Roth Cards videos, and him and Ken Forno send a lot of stuff into BGS at the shows. So I think BGS is doing 150
if it's a live drop off.
If it's a live drop off, and it's 250.
It's 250 on the site.
If you 250 if you send it in.
That.
Yeah, nobody talks about Beckett backlog because nobody has any idea what the hell's going on. Like literally,
there are people that don't even know what BGS is that have entered the hobby in the last 8 months.
Yeah,
they're like, what's a Beckett slab?
And I think that's definitely hurting the value, especially on the modern stuff.
And again, to your point earlier, if I think at some point they're coming back, but while the value's low and it's something you desire, grab it while you can. I still think it's a decent graded card in there.
Yeah, Beckett, if you're listening and you need a marketing agency, email info@sportscardadvantage.com.
Forward it to me.
I got some connections that we can hook you up with, so you guys can actually re-enter the universe of the hobby and regain your reputation.
They're killing me.
All right, Guy. Anything else you'd like to discuss with the fine people?
No, I'm going to look through my COMC cards one more time, and I'm going to bed.
I have a very inappropriate joke about you and Adam Dunn that I'm not even gonna say, and we'll just end it. We'll just end it on that note. Episode 37 in the books. Thank you all for listening. Once again, email us any questions you want on the show. info@sportscardadvantage.com. Follow us on social media, SportsCardADVTG. And for those of you that are still with us, if you want to help us out, jump onto Apple Podcasts and drop us a review. Those help us build our following. All right, we are out.